Explorer 1, the world's most far-off shuttle, is sending valuable information back to Earth. This is an exceptional new development allowed its 10-year venture into space. Explorer 1, which has voyaged farther than some other man-made object, made revelations that surprised everyone. This amazing disclosure has invigorated the head of NASA and brought up issues about what lies outside our ability to comprehend of the universe. The spacecraft will leave our solar system and become an interstellar explorer, destined to travel the galaxy forever after passing Neptune. For almost 50 years, the Explorer missions have given a portion of the first and most staggering perspectives on the miracles of the nearby planet group. Shockingly, these missions didn't take long to assemble. Michael Minovich proposed in the 1970s that a spacecraft could reach the outer solar system at the speed of a planet. Voyager's performance has far exceeded expectations for a project that was originally intended to last only 5 years. Explorer 1 and Explorer 2, sent off half a month separated in the late spring of 1977, were quick to investigate Jupiter and Saturn. They accomplished this by effectively concentrating on these gas Goliaths, yet they didn't stop there. In 1989 and 1986, Voyager 2 made their first close-up observations of Neptune and Uranus. Voyager's Grand Tour was the name of the mission that included these close passes of the 4 planets. Rather than finishing their central goal, the modest explorers took on a greater objective, investigating profound space. Even though it has been 46 years, Voyager 1 and Voyager 2 continue to travel through space and gather useful scientific data. NASA made the official announcement in 2013 that Voyager 1 had entered interstellar space, which is the region between stars that is not affected by the sun's particles or magnetic field. It's like switching from a crowded solar system to a quiet, star-filled desert. Explorer 2 went with the same pattern in 2018, entering this huge district 17.7 billion kilometers from the sun. The only spacecraft to enter interstellar space, Voyager 1 and 2, have begun investigating the interstellar medium's role in the sun's atmosphere. They are the first sources of information about the heliosphere, our solar system's protective shield. The heliosphere is shaped and constrained by the sun-based breeze, a steady stream of charged particles radiated from the Sun. Explorer 1 and Explorer 2 act as satellite correspondents, giving important bits of knowledge into this heavenly safeguard. Their information relates to the heliopause, the dynamic locale of our planetary group, showing the change from the sun-powered breeze to the boundlessness of interstellar space. NASA's Explorer shuttle have given new data about interstellar space, and shockingly, the instruments on the 2 space apparatus are as yet performing great starting around 2019, which was not normal. Experts from NASA are unsure whether the Voyagers will continue to operate in temperatures that would freeze other spacecraft, a mystery that adds to their legacy. Astronomers have been pleasantly surprised by unanticipated phenomena in the solar system's outer regions. The heliopause, which goes about as a limit between the sun's impact and interstellar space, isn't steady. All things being equal, it moves and makes peculiar points that shock and befuddle researchers. This thought of the heliopause cycle isn't new. Throughout recent years, researchers utilizing information from Explorer 1, Explorer 2, and NASA's Limit Traveler interstellar satellite have seen the heliopause seem, by all accounts, to be evolving. These space apparatus are significant in light of the fact that they give precise estimations of these districts, regardless of whether they are at a particular moment. Dr. Eric J. He said how IBEX, another satellite, added significant information to assist scientists with better anticipating the developments of the heliopause. Late investigations have tested what we assumed we knew. IBEX observed energetic particles with an unusual brightness in 2014, pointing to some deviations in the heliopause. In any case, these factors were excluded from our ongoing example, which is more similar to an unforeseen curve in a story. Also, when researchers looked at the data from Voyager 1 and Voyager 2, they noticed that the heliopause location changed significantly for a short time. The fact that the 2 probes reached interstellar space in 2012 and 2018 with a significant gap in between may be explained by this motion. These unforeseen ways of behaving are befuddling as well as go against what we assumed we had some awareness of the heliopause. In another paper in Nature Stargazing, researchers allude to these distinctions as energizing, meaning they are misconceptions that could be bantered in established researchers. However, sit back and relax. the quest for answers proceeds. New researchers are anxious to study NASA's impending interstellar planning and speed increase test, booked for send-off in 2025. The advanced satellite promises to shed more light on the mysteries surrounding our solar system's outermost regions. We can only marvel at the mysteries that lie beyond the heliopause for the time being. During its normal mission in May 2023, Voyager 1 witnessed an unusual event. The piece of the shuttle answerable for controlling the huge scope radio wire, known as the Demeanor Control and Correspondence Framework, ACS, started sending vague information rather than refreshes on the rocket's well-being and status. Explorer 1 gives off an impression of experiencing difficulty imparting appropriately, similar as a human would experience issues talking easily because of a type of electronic aphasia according to our viewpoint on the planet. Explorer 1 seems to have experienced electromagnetic obstruction, as NASA made sense of at that point. The data that was returned was either unrelated or incorrect. Interestingly, Voyager 1 appears to be doing well despite these mixed reports. Contrary to what the ACS had indicated, the radio signal remained strong and stable, indicating that the antenna was still pointing at the ground. Explorer 1's science instruments were working ordinarily, without any information on the ACS disappointment. Moreover, the space apparatus shortcoming security framework, intended to answer glitches by placing the rocket in an experimental mode, was not enacted by the issue. Luckily, NASA immediately distinguished the issue. A computer that had been out of business for a long time was being used by the ACS. A command to transfer data to a functioning computer was the straightforward solution. In any case, the secret stayed with respect to why the ACS had acted diversely in any case. NASA believes it was brought on by an error in a command from another computer on board. Despite the fact that this incident did not pose a significant risk to Voyager 1's safety, NASA is currently conducting an investigation to prevent other occurrences of the same kind. For over 10 years, Explorer 1 has been investigating interstellar space past the Sun's defensive attractive field. This attractive safeguard, like Earth's attractive field, shields the space apparatus from infinite beams and other enormous radiation. Similarly, as PCs on Earth face difficulties from fiery particles and sun-based radiation, Explorer 1's PCs on the upper surface face the difficulties of room. Now and again, enthusiastic particles can connect with central processors, prompting little memory blunders that development after some time. Susan Dodd, the venture chief responsible for Explorer 1 and 2, has a worldwide point of view on these difficulties. She claims that at this point in the Voyager mission, encountering these enigmas is a part of the process. These shuttle have been on a wonderful excursion for very nearly 50 years, past their central goal lifetime. They are traveling through interstellar space, a region that has not yet been explored by spacecraft and is characterized by high radiation levels. Right around 50 years have passed since the send-offs of Explorer 1 and Explorer 2. They've come a long way, explored new places, and learned new things. Presently wandering into interstellar space, these incredible space apparatus face a novel test. Their 1970s PC frameworks run on only 70 kilobytes of memory, indeed, truth be told, just 70 kilobytes. Regardless of these specialized impediments, NASA has proceeded with crafted by these far-off tests. Imagine being able to provide cosmic IT support by sending software updates across international boundaries. Subsequently, in the extraordinary haziness of room, billions of miles from Earth, the Explorer tests have passed mind-blowing boundaries, providing people with a more profound perspective on the universe past the planetary group. We should take a moment to pay tribute to these space pioneers, the twin Voyager probes. They are already saying their goodbyes to our solar system and traveling indefinitely between stars. Each probe's weight and size can be compared to that of a small car. Like the old tales about space investigation hold the condition of innovation of the 1970s. The facts confirm that their PC frameworks were less strong than the present computerized tickers and that their simple TV cameras were not generally so progressed as current cameras, but rather they made a permanent imprint on each heavenly body they experienced. Jupiter's hundreds of violent storms, a bright northern hemisphere aurora, and 3 rings that are harder to detect than previously thought have all been revealed thanks to the Voyager spacecraft. Saturn, as well, shocked us with large number of rings and winding around structures that specialists once believed were unimaginable. Surprisingly, We also found active volcanoes on Neptune's moon Triton and Jupiter's moon Io, which had been thought to be unique to Earth.